So things go from bad to worse for Blackburn Rovers as a wonder strike from Etebo makes it 1 win out of 11. Should we be concerned? We'll talk about it next. That's right, folks, back once again with another match review, this time looking back at Blackburn Rovers' latest calamity. That's right, up against Stoke at Ewood Park, and we'll talk about it in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash the old subscribe button, keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, world football related. We're going to all here under one roof. So let's take it, let's break it apart a little bit and talk about it. The old shambles, that's right, the 1-0 loss up against Stoke. With the one and only goal coming from Etebo, and it was a bit of a perler. Usually I wouldn't complain about that, but obviously it wasn't for us, it was for Stoke. A quite impressive 17,478 people were in attendance to view this game, and this makes this defeat even more awful, because it was supposed to be a showpiece for young families and young kids to come and catch Rovers, I think for free or very cheap or whatever it was. So they opened up the upper tier of one of the Rovers stands to get these families through the turnstiles to see, yeah, come on, support Rovers. And then we get this dire and absolute dog shit of a performance. Absolutely piss poor. Obviously we were... there were some concerns when the team sheets came out with no Bradley Dack in the middle of the park, but I was excited to see Joe Rothwell. I have no idea why who scored have got us here with a 4-4-1-1, because we never play with a 4-4-1-1. It's probably a 4-2-3-1. But anyway, let's talk a bit more about the match. Stoke, with their airtight defence, were always going to be tough to defeat. And I know I was optimistic going into this, thinking that we could get something, albeit a draw. But once that goal went in, the Etebo wonder strike, which Stoke barely threatened, to be honest with you. They once they had that lead, they kind of did do what they do, and that is keep clean sheets. I think that's either 5 or 6 on the spin now for them. And that's right. I think fundamentally, I think moving forward, yes, we can score goals. It's in our locker. We've got them in our tank with Dak, with Graham, with other players contributing every now and again. Amari Bell's got a few goals, Charlie Mulgrew as well. But let's kind of put that on the back burner for moving forward. Let's try and focus on the basics, and that is keeping clean sheets. If we could go on a nice run like Stoke, 5 or 6 games with a 0-0s, yes, it might be boring football, but it's getting the basics done. And when you get the basics done, you can build on that. Then you can kind of work on your attacking things. I think now that we've got, trying to do that, patch up the league defence midway through a season, or coming to the back end of a season, and we're looking like we might get sucked into something which we don't want to do. It's hard to do that. It's hard to fix that. We should have been fixing that 2 seasons ago under Owen Coyle or Paul Lambert. We've always had a shoddy-looking, patchy defence that needs to be fixed, and it's getting to this now, folks. So if it does, I'm telling you now. I'm going on my rant. I'm starting my rant now. This is it. I'm on the... Obviously, Rovers form horrific, and there's a lot of people, a lot of fans saying Mowbray out now, he should be gone, and all this kind of good stuff. I'm telling you right here, right now, despite the shambolic form that we're in, the 9 defeats out of 11, 1 win out of that 11 total, he shouldn't go anywhere. I think we should keep Mowbray for the time being and give him the summer. Give him the summer, and if he turns up, if the transfer window shuts over August, and we've not improved that defence, we've just brought another 6 midfielders in, or some wingers and all that, and we still have the same shoddy personnel, or there's no ambition or no desire or no focus on to try and improve that defence, then he should go, because that's an area that's been crying out. Ever since he walked through that door, he's been capable enough. He's thought we were solid enough at the back to be able to do this. He lets out the other, well, possibly our only recognised, officially trained centre-back go out on loan, and that was Downing. Yeah, I don't know if he's championship standard or not, but I think he's pretty better. He can put up a bit of a decent performance when called upon. So anyway, let's get back to it. Quick look at the stats there for you. 11 shots for Rovers, 8 for Stoke. To be honest with you, I cannot recall any one of those shots, except for the one that was a crossbar. I think it was Armstrong. Possession was dominated by Rovers, 54% compared to 46 by Stoke. We had better successes with our passing. 80% of our passes reached the intended target. 78 for Stoke. We were more fruitful on the ground. 20 tackles to their 16. They were more dominant in the air. 27 to 25. We have more corners as well. 5-2-4. Quick look at the starting 11s. First and foremost, Blackburn Rovers, Raya in goal. Bell Mulgrew was on there, but he pulled up with a bit of an injury, so he only played 45 minutes. Lenihan, Nyambe, Evans, Smallwood, Rothwell got the nod. Armstrong, Bennett, and Graham. Now this starting 11 is, when you look at it, and you look at it now, obviously beforehand I was purely excited just because of Joe Rothwell, but when you look at it now, and it just screams boringness to me. Absolutely snorefest. Smallwood, snorefest. Bennett, no disrespect to you, but snorefest. Evans, snorefest. Who else? Mulgrew, I love you to bits. You're amazing. You have a wizard of a wand and all that, but realistically, snorefest. We need to pick these holes. These guys were there when we faced the drop. They were there when they got us back up again. But right now, they could be there when we go back down again at this rate. So we need to fix that. Patch up this thing. Armstrong, you need to step up your game. I know you don't like playing on the wing, but tough titty right now. That's where you got to play. Step it up. Amari Bell, pick up the urgency, for crying out loud. You're a flipping wing back. Bomb up and down them flanks. Nyambe, I love you. You are. I've got no complaints about you right now. I think you're amazing. You are probably one of my standouts. Evans, you started off the season so brilliantly. You look like dog crap at the moment. Lenihan, you're a soldier, a warrior, and without you, we'd be completely boggered. So I think you're amazing too. Raya, you need to up your game a little bit, but for the other part of it, you're a top quality keeper, especially at this level. Can't complain. Distribution needs to be picking up a bit. Elliot Bennett, lovely man on the pitch, can play anywhere on this. You're a squad player, man, not first team. Sorry. Big DG, love you. Score goals. If you had some support, you'd probably get to 20 goals for the season. Anyway, let's bamble on now. Quick look at my match ratings for you. Raya with an 8. It all goes down from there. 5 for Bell, 4 for Mulgrew, 6 for Lennon, 5 for Nyambe, 5 for Evans, 5 for Smallwood, 6 for Rothwell, being generous a little bit there, 4 for Armstrong, 4 for Bennett, and 5 for Big DG. Quick look at the Stoke lineup. Butler was in goal, Indy, Shawcross, Bat, or whatever they call him. Edwards was at the right back. He's got no picture on Foothead. Allen, Etebo, Bojan, Ince, McLean, Afobe. It is, well, a cheap or a poor-looking Premier League side. It's a good side for the Championship, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot of Premier League players in there who might not be up to the top end of the stable. Indy, Dutch international. Shawcross, former England or one-time England international, solid defender. Butland in the England team right now. Joe Allen in the Welsh team right now. Etebo probably in the Nigerian side. Bojan was on Barcelona's books. Afobe probably plays for Burkina Faso. I'm sure he does. And McLean, Irish international. They're solid players. And yeah, they are struggling at the table position wise, but they've rode through the rough patch with Nathan Jones, but they've in the process they've patched up a leaky defence, and they're rock solid at the back. When we played them at their place, they were all over the place with Rowett in charge, but now with Nathan Jones, he's kind of fixed up. Patched the leaks, and yeah, they're on the way up. Quick look at some more stats here. This is some shot charts for you. Rovers, again, why are we so afraid to shoot? I know it says 11 shots, but we should have had like 20 shots today. We should have peppered them. We got into so many chances. Maybe in the heat maps I'll show you in a second, but we got pushed. We were in the areas, but nobody was afraid to shoot. I saw Bennett, who's known for his screamers. Why doesn't he have a flipping shot? I think he did have one. I'll give him that. But in fact, no, I can't do it. This is a snapshot. But if I was on the website, I could see how many shots Rothwell had, but or Bennett had. But we're not even the yeah, we are the orange. Anyway, so we had more passes than they did. 413 to 427. More touches as well. 691 to 623. And down the bottom there, you can see whereabouts the shots on target took place. Quick look at the heat maps. If you're a heat map man, just let me see. Look at Butland. Butland was the busiest man for Stoke for sure on that field. As we had the ball. We had the ball predominantly all the time, and we couldn't take advantage of it. And that is lack of creativity. That is lack of desire. That is lack of willingness to shoot. Lack of confidence. Lack of everything. It's complete lack, and it needs to be sorted out. Anyway. Oh, that's what a little bit, just a tidbit of what I have to say. What did the gaff have to say shortly after the final whistle?
Well, ultimately we left disappointed again, frustrated. You know, a bit of Groundhog Day really. An amazing effort. I said to them after the game, you know, I think fantastic, the desire to get a result and the work they put in and the drive they've got, and yet you know, a lot of decent positions, got a lot of play around their box, you know, particularly second half. We had some good play first half and created some good chances that didn't go in, and obviously had them at the underside of the bar. But it felt like another one of them days, as I say, Groundhog Day really. We had 4 1-0 defeats now, and you know, if you think back to Preston, is it Bristol, Middlesbrough, you know, lots of decent football in them games and great desire, great effort, like today. And yet the last pass, the ability to find the space in the box to get picked out to score the goal, or a bit of individuality, a bit of class that makes the difference. It just wasn't there today, and so yeah, we're all left frustrated again against just a, you know, a decent team with some good footballers, Stoke, and yet it was there for us today. I think if it had fallen a different way for us, we'd just keep going, keep striving to work hard to get the things to start falling our way. Well, maybe so. I think you know, if it was the first time, you know, you'd put it to one side and say it'll be all right next week, you know. But as I say, it's 3 or 4 times now, lost 1-0 at home and had lots of opportunities. I think just that, you know, it's not as Sandy, you know, we do a lot of work on the video room, and could we have picked that pass, could you have dived in front there, could you have pulled off the back there, a bit more quality in that ball, just missed that defender, it's a goal. And yet, you know, the lads have to do it on a match day. They have to pick the right pass. They have to get behind. We got behind them a lot today. We put a lot of balls into areas, and they kept heading them out, kept blocking shots. You know, sometimes the best teams with the best players don't need as many chances as we're getting, and they can score 2 or 3 goals. And so that's how I see it. A brilliant effort. And yeah, that means nothing today because we live in the world of results, really, and so another defeat and huge frustration for us all. Maybe I know it's another clean sheet for them. He's had 6 clean sheets on the bounce. I think it's maybe we didn't feel like that during the game. I felt we got into some great areas and had some great chances to score, and yet they always seem to have a lot of bodies. You know, when we just put slung balls into the box, they seem to be, the head was dealing with them really, and what we did get behind them a few times, put things across the 6-yard line, and again just the final bit of movement, the final touch, the final finish wasn't there today. So left frustrated once again. Move on to Tuesday. So we've got 6 games left. We have to go and be positive and work as hard as we did today in every game, and hope that things start falling our way. Of course, we need a win. We understand that. It's you know, it's coming to that stage of the season where every result is important. I see, you know, Rotherham got a good result today at home. There's still a lot of teams between us and then bottom places, but you know, we need a result. I think a result will give everybody a big boost, a big lift, and we can sort of enjoy the end of the season rather than have any anxiety about it.
Now you've heard what the gaffers had to say. What did the opposition fans have to say? What did David Cowshaw from the old Wizards of Drivel podcast have to say about Stoke's performance?
Fortunate victim of a rare Stoke away win, so I'm very sorry for that. As for the game itself, well, I think we probably deserved it. That might seem a little bit like my own bias there, but if we score that penalty at the end of the first half, we walk that game. I don't think you offered too much. Looking back at the highlights now, I don't think you created any real clear-cut chances, to be honest. And that's our 6th clean sheet in a row. It doesn't look like any team's going to score against us at the moment. Obviously, we're playing Swansea away Tuesday night. I suspect our clean sheet run will probably end there, though. Yeah, it was a fantastic strike from Etebo for our opener. And this being Stoke, we haven't won away since October. I felt it was going to be inevitable. We had 3 players go off injured. Losing Ryan Shaw across the back was going to be a big miss. Ashley Williams isn't as good a defender as him. But we held on. I think you guys are probably about where you deserve to be. Bradley Jack, obviously big miss. Very strange situation there. I think some girl off Love Island might have even given us the edge in that match. Sorry, Graham, to say that. But, well, I think we deserved it. Good luck for you guys. Go on, Stoke.
Okay, what else is going on in the Championship? We'll take a look at what the other fans have been saying in a minute, because it's not the greatest reading. Also, in the Championship, Norwich put on a benchmark 4-0 winners over QPR. Rotherham, we've got to keep an eye on these boys. 2-1 winners over Forest. Hull picked up a decent, solid win, though. 3-1 over Reading. Well done there. Bolton let slip against strugglers Ipswich, their first win in a long time. Wigan were held 2-2 away from home. Solid point for them against Bristol City. Birmingham beat Leeds. So problems there. Middlesbrough lost as well. Could be the end for Tony Pulis. 3-1 win for Swansea. Millwall 2-0 win over West Brom. Some strugglers picking up wins. Derby, our next opponents, they got a 3-3 draw against Brentford. Villa Villa won against Steve Bruce's Sheffield Wednesday. That had a own storyline of its own. Preston lost to Sheffield United. And that is probably it. Quick look at the table. Norwich are flying high, 84 points at the moment. They are 7 points clear of Sheffield United, who are now above Leeds. It's getting tight at the end. West Brom are in 4th, Villa 5th, and Bristol City are the last team in the playoffs with 62 points. As for the drop zone, Ipswich, Bolton, and Rotherham are bottom of the pops. 8 points adrift of Rovers, but there are other teams in the mix. We need to get out. We need another couple wins. I know we do play QPR and we do play Bolton over the Easter sort of weekend, so that can't come quick enough. But before then, we've got to take on Derby, which I'll show you now. We take Derby on Tuesday on it's the 7:45 kickoff. It's 2:45 over for me. As for Stoke, they take on Swansea City, so the two ex-Premier League teams battle at the old Liberty. Other games to look forward to: Bristol City against West Brom, that's a bit fruity. Preston against Leeds. Birmingham against Sheffield United. Hull against Wigan. We need Hull to do us a favour there. Norwich against Reading. Again, come on Norwich. Millwall QPR. Well, I don't know about that. But anyway, Villa need to beat Rotherham. Ipswich, Brentford, Middlesbrough, Bolton. If Pulis is not fired now, and he's got this game to get a result against Bolton, if he doesn't get a result against Bolton, surely he's out the door. Anyway, you've heard a little bit what I've had to say. You've heard what the gaffers had to say, and you've even heard what the opposition fans have to say. What about the Rovers fans on Twitter? Well, a lot of this, that, and the other on Twitter. A lot of people backing Mowbray, a lot of people questioning Mowbray, a lot of people don't give a really stuff about Mowbray. But anyway, Rob Young said this: there's no point getting rid of Mowbray this late in the season. Let's limp our way to the summer. I agree. Hopefully to get more points along the way and then start rebuilding process. If we see where we need to strengthen, you can sure as hell bet Tony can too. I hope so. The BRFCS.com forum on Twitter said this: not sure what to say anymore. Same old every week. To be given remotely concerned about the prospect of being dragged in relegation scrap after January is quite something. Meanwhile, Talk of Ewood said this: as much improved second half, but it's still not good enough. Big changes in the summer needed. This squad needs a shake-up. There's some lads out there being carried by the rest. Indeed, Jen Bellamy said this. Bugger it, saying it out loud. At the beginning of the season, I questioned to myself whether or not Smallwood would/could make this step up. I desperately wanted him to prove me wrong. I really did. But so far, sorry, but no. Hashtag Rovers. Hashtag Lee One at best. Meanwhile, NYC Rovers said this: Tony Mowbray is very much a traditionalist, but the problem with the old school method is the ability to adapt. His contribution to the club will never be forgotten, but I fear that keeping him may result in relegation next year. Stephen, obviously there are a couple of people in control of the old NYC Rovers Twitter account, I believe. That's why he wanted to make sure that you knew it was coming from him. As for Mike Delap, said this: Raya, Lennon and Travis were well worth their place in the side. Really, everyone else was lacking. You could expect to win. You can't expect to win with three players playing well and one of those coming from the bench. Meanwhile, Adrian Spencer said this: in my opinion, Mowbray shouldn't be sacked, although he should have brought some players in January. He's doing what he can with the players he's got. Let's face it, it's a League One squad with the glimpses of quality. Let's judge him by this summer transfer window and next season's first few games. I'm 100% behind you on that one, Adrian. I believe if Mowbray doesn't strengthen defence, that's the area that concerns me the most. We've been scoring goals for fun, but it's just keeping a tight ship at the back. Get that simple things done. Keeping clean sheets, keeping rock solid defence, and will make a huge bit of difference. Anyway, Sully says there's 8 points from the drop now. Doesn't look like we get a point between now and the end of the season. Just stay in the league, he says. Dave Little said this, paying the price for not being ruthless enough with a squad that got promoted from League One. Time for Murray to walk. He isn't turning this around, and his transfers have largely been poor. Cam D said this, predictable, drab, worst of all for the new fans, boring. Mowbray is done. Bennett, Evans, Smallwood, Mulgrew, Williams, get rid. Play Brereton, Armstrong, Rothwell, Chapman in their preferred positions. Build around these players. The negative old setup needs to end. Northern Rover said this. Getting a bit tight for comfort now. 8 points clear of relegation with 6 to play. We should be okay, but would never have thought we would have even had relegation worries given where we were at the end of January. And wrapping it up, Scott Cameron said this. Let's not use the usual. One of the best teams we played. Excuse this time. Utter shambles and not good enough. Paying the price now for taking on the championship with a League One squad. Well, that's pretty much all I've got for you today, folks. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a good old thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button. Get you back up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, world football related. We're going to all here under one roof. Woo! But there's no time to take your foot off the gas or, you know, go into cruise control, Rovers, because we got Derby County hot on our heels, and I think that's also at Ewood Park on Tuesday. So we go again. Chance to make amends, perhaps. Obviously, Derby are competing at the top end. When we played them earlier in the season, it was a very. I think did we scrape a draw? I can't remember, but we were getting played off the park, I'm sure, for the first 45. Second half, I think we dug in it. We might have got an equaliser. I can't recall. But when we took on Stoke in their place, the first leg, it was all Rovers. Probably one of our better away performances in the season. Come back to Ewood Park this time around, and we look like garbage. But anyway, I will be back with a match preview for that pretty soon. Probably it'll be back in the Sunday, probably Monday morning. So keep your eyes open for that bad boy. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, smash the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, smash the subscribe. Back again pretty soon, and I'm going to let you get out of here. Ciao for now. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.